We've got all 10 of the prototype Master Set players, and one of them can be made completely free. In this video, we're going to go through all of the 10 prototype Master Set players. We'll do a little tier list to see which ones I think are the best ones and which ones I think are simply just an avoid. I want to preface this by saying, if one of these players is A, your favorite player or one of them, or B, on your favorite team, just make them. Ignore everything I'm saying. Get out of the mindset that you need to use the best cards in the game every single game. Have a little fun. That being said, if you are looking for the cards that will help your lineup the most, let's start down at... I also want to mention that I think all of these cards are really fun and usable right now. However, the reason why some of these cards are going to be lower in the tier list is simply because they're going to be replaced very quickly. So keep that in mind if you see a card lower in the lineup. It's not that they're bad. I think all of them right now at the time of this recording are great options for you, but I just think some will get replaced quick. All right, we're going to start down at the bottom. This is in the C tier, okay? We're going to go with the 86 Radko Gudas. Now, a couple reasons, all right? Something that you have to take into account with the prototype hockey event is that when you go from 85 to 86 when you're creating these cards, you are going to lose a power-up collectible at some point, whether when you refund them or cash them in, because it requires you to spend 2 power-up collectibles. And the real bonus of Radko Gudas is the fact that he gets Truculence, and Truculence is one of the better abilities in the game still. However, in NHL 24, because there's so many CPU penalties, something to keep in mind is the discipline rating. This has really never mattered in online and Hockey Ultimate Team, but the discipline rating will impact how often they are called for elbowing, charging, tripping calls if you're using the poach check. Radko Gudas' discipline accurately is down at 62. When you throw in the fact that he's got Truculence making every hit that much harder, if you take a few steps before you hit with him, you're more than likely going to get a charging or boarding call. On top of that, he's got 84 speed and acceleration, and he's not all that big. However, he has 94.5 body checking, so that really doesn't matter at all. It is pretty important to get Enforcer Defenseman on him to get his speed up a little bit, but there's so few Enforcer Defensemen that makes it a little bit more difficult. And the fact that you have to get him to 86 to get his good ability because Bouncer just really isn't all that. That's why he's down in the C tier. Also down in the C tier is the 86 Boone Jenner, 6'2", 203. The grinder prototype. Again, completely good card right now. The knock on him is 85 speed and acceleration, so he's a little bit slower. He just doesn't do anything exceptionally well. It's kind of just like 85 or 86 across the board. And his abilities, no contest, is okay. Born Leader does have a place, but you probably want it higher in your lineup because it's going to cost you 6 ability points. And don't forget, you're going to have to spend that extra collectible to get his good ability activated. So he's C tier for me. Lastly, in the C tier, we've got Milan Lucic, a really fun card, a lot like Gudas, however. He's got Truculence and back at you. 71 discipline, again, is very low, so if you do hit well with him, you are more than likely going to get a penalty. Back at you, there is a small section of the player base that is slowly starting to pick up how to reverse check. And when you do reverse hits with a player with back at you, it is so impactful. Like, it is unbelievably overpowered. It's just not a lot of players are utilizing it. If you don't know how to do a reverse check, it's by clicking in the right thumbstick. And as you know, that's kind of been the most annoying part of the total control scheme, simply because we didn't want to do a reverse hit 9 times out of 10. But I've seen a few players and content creators start to really get good at, using the reverse hit, and man, is it overpowered, especially guys like Gordie Howe, for example. Again, Milan Lucic isn't a bad card right now, but with that low skating, it's awfully tough to get him up high, and you're not going to get Truculence unless you burn that extra power collectible, so he is in the C tier. On to the B tier, we've got the 86 Brett Pesce. Again, I think that defensively, this is a really fun card. There has been a big issue of just not being able to defend forced cross-ice passes, and if you have someone like Brett Pesce who can get essentially maxed out defensive awareness and silver quick pick, he can actually intercept passes. Shutdown has been a great ability. 85 speed acceleration is kind of like the cutoff right now for usable. Body checking is great. Size is great. The only knock, in my opinion, why he's not higher on this tier list is you can essentially just go and make Dan Girardi, who in my opinion is far better, and it's not nearly as expensive. So that's the only knock on Pesce, is that there's just other options, I think. Mitch Marner is rounding out the B tier, and again, this is just a personal one. I've tried Mitch Marner again this year. I just can't hold on to the puck with him. I think he needs unstoppable force. However, Elite Edges does make him quite viable, especially with 89 speed, 91 acceleration, and 90 agility. He's a complete liability defensively, however, with 74 body checking, is only going to be able to play on the wing. I would rather just go and get base Nathan McKinnon instead of spending my resources to activate him. He is a card, however, where you don't need to get him to his 85 because his 86, because at 85, his skating stays the same and the third eye zone ability is like useless online. So just a nice little caveat there for Marner. On to the A tier. We'll start with the 86 Brady Tkachuk, 6'4", 221, 86 speed and acceleration, but he's massive at 6'4", 221. Again, the issue is you're gonna have to spend that extra collectible, but gold unstoppable force, like once you're in the zone, he's simply not going to get knocked off the puck at all. Truculence, again, you can use to get those extra hits and be able to knock people off with shove checks, but it's that gold unstoppable force, the fact that he's so big, 87 balance and a good shot. I think that he is in the A tier. Braden Point is also in the A tier, in my opinion. At 86 overall, he is smaller. 92 speed, 92 acceleration, 90 agility, but a very good shot. And sniper forward and shooting boost are two of the synergies so far early on that are pretty easy to activate. You can play him at center with 81 on the draw, but more than anything, he's just been a really good card going up against. Like, I've seen a lot of people utilize Braden Point this year, and he's sneaky good, at least at this stage before all the size, you know, the size guys get like 99 speed. All right, then on to the S tier, and these are cards that I think if you wanted to make a Master Set player, these are the ones that I personally would recommend if you don't have a favorite player. We'll start with Quinn Hughes. Now, obviously, smaller defensemen do struggle in the sense that in their own zone, it's very hard to use them. The real bonus here is, though, again, you don't need to go to his 86, so you can just get him to his 85 and essentially rent using the power-up collectibles because it only costs one. When you refund them eventually, you'll get them both back. 93 speed, 93 acceleration, 91 agility. Very few defensemen have that level of skating. In the defensive zone, he will be a bit of a liability. Seeing Eye, however, guys, turning out to be one of the better abilities in the game. If you get any sort of screen, the goalie just simply won't move. If you pair him with someone bigger, let's say, I mean, even Brett Pesce from this event, or Dan Girardi, or anyone that can actually hit well, you've got a really good combo on your hands here. Devon Toews is also in the S tier. It's a card I've gotten to use a little bit. Again, same situation. The gold ability of tape to tape is not really all that usable, so you can keep him at 85. Two-way defenseman is the easiest synergy to activate in the game, which will get his defensive awareness up to 92, endurance up to 86, so he can stay out there longer, and 93 stick checking. Stick checking, the stat of it, the higher it is, the more accurate and fast that when you hit R1, it will attack the puck. When you combine that with stick him up, you've got a really annoying player to go up against. He's got decent size and 88 speed, 87 acceleration. So I think just a safe card that you can go with. The left-hand side of defense as well is one of the weakest positions so far. A lot of the good cards so far have come out that have been right-handed defensemen. So, again, just another reason why I like Devon Toews. And then lastly, Nico Hischier. I'm going to give you guys the stats from my own card because I've gotten to use him extensively, almost 100 games. Easily my favorite from this event. A couple reasons. Number one is the longevity. So he's 6'1", only 175, so he's a little bit more slender. Silver Quick Draw is an extremely usable ability for the entire duration of the year. He's got 88 faceoffs. I rarely lose a faceoff with him. And I like the fact that it's silver, so I don't have to sink in 6. I can use another player that has gold. Quick Pick, gold Quick Draw, like Nieuwendyk. 89 speed, 89 acceleration, a decent shot as well. You can even go up one more, but his skating won't increase. And get Stick 'em Up. I don't really think you need to, though. He's got a really good shot, and he feels faster than 89 speed. This one is the easiest one. If you were going to get one for free and you have no like affiliation with any of the other options, Nico Hischier has the most longevity and in my opinion is the best card. So everyone, I hope this helps make your decisions for the Prototype Hockey event. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. I'll see you next time. Have a good one.